Okay, hi. I don't know what to do or say or feel, so come have a coffee with me and let's fix some earrings, I guess. I'm trying a lot of new things. I am reattempting to use my lapel mic with my Zoom recorder. That seems to be working, but we'll see. I've been duped before. I am very, very, very privileged to have a new camera, so I also didn't want to do a full-blown project with all the tester stuff I have going and not have some of it work. So not only can I not focus on something or like get the gears in my brain to come up with something to do, or I got nothing. I got nothing in the tank. I feel like a tumbleweed just cruising across the plains, no direction, not knowing where it's going, not knowing what to do about its situation, because it's just kind of getting blown around by external forces. I don't know. I thought if any of y'all felt as lost as I do, I'm just saying, commiserate. I hadn't really been around anybody else all week until last night. I was doing my Ales and Alterations night. I was sitting trying to edit the, I think, cool, helpful, interesting video that I had intended to post today. And I'm so sorry I just have not had my shit together enough to get that done. But I don't want to half-ass it and rush it and put something out just for the sake of putting it out. I have always hated the end result when I've done that. And I think y'all can tell when I'm like phoning it in. And obviously, I'm not at my best for this, but I think a lot of y'all can relate to how discombobulated I am. I should maybe explain what I'm working on. I have my old camera over here filming what my hands are doing. I thought this would be helpful for this type of video. And I have this mic so that regardless of where I'm facing, hopefully there's decent audio getting picked up, but that camera and this camera are also recording audio. So hopefully something is salvageable. I would love feedback on any of this. And like in general, if you have any thoughts on types of videos going forward, any specific topic or like facet of what I do, be it sewing projects, which I know I haven't shared any kind of like make and chat tutorial walkthrough in a while. I suspect come January, I'll be more into that because I'm making myself take time off of events because of just how brutal it has been this year. Spoiler alert for the market prep / market vlog video. It's been a bad time. I know an election years when people aren't buying luxury items and none of my stuff is essential. I understand that. People don't have to buy what I have. Thankfully, a lot of people still come up to me and like show how excited they are about my things and just like very complimentary about my design choices and the skill set. And I do appreciate getting that feedback because I don't feel like I'm doing things entirely wrong. Like I'm not headed in the opposite direction of where I should be heading kind of thing. It's hard to feel like you're not fucking up and failing when sales are as bad as they are and you're flailing as much as this, because I'm also not brand new to this. And I know my business has evolved and changed and like its current form feels new compared to how I was doing things even a year ago. So I'm trying to be kind with myself, but it's been a struggle, and I'm so beyond lucky to have the support that I do, and there's no way at all I'd be able to do this and continue on as I have if not for that. So any of y'all watching, any of y'all that hang out with me in real life, any of y'all that support me on Patreon or like have bought anything from me, some of y'all have even like specifically come out to in-person events, even just to say hi or purchase something that you had been eyeballing. And it absolutely means the world. So I don't want that to go unappreciated because I do appreciate you all. It's just discouraging and frustrating constantly having to take things on the chin. And I know I'm in a very, very privileged position that like these are the hardships I'm dealing with, and I do acknowledge that. But boy, howdy, it has still been a really bad time. So I thought I'd just be honest about it, because I've never been this type of person. But I know there are plenty of folks that only show the good things in their personal life or business life or whatever it may be on their social media, just like what they're presenting to the world. But I've never followed those social guidelines. And not that I try to wallow in the bad parts, but life is good and bad. There are highs and lows. There's positives and negatives. It feels like the negatives are insurmountable at the moment for a number of reasons. And it's not to say there's no good at all. But I think it's okay to acknowledge when it is difficult. And that's how it's been feeling. And I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. I know a lot of people are in the same boat. Because, again, so appreciative for the community I have around me. And a lot of people that are going through similar things. And I was really, really down about everything going into this past weekend. I just felt like I kept getting kicked while I was down, and it was hard. I was having a hard time coping. Also, hey, I fixed a pair of earrings. Just to explain what I'm doing, these were stud earrings. They were on these posts, and I hated wearing them, but I like dangly earrings. So I put them on some fish hook findings. Shepherd hook findings? I don't know what you call these. The hooky ones. And next, I'm just resituating a pair of earrings that came off of the fish hook. So nothing overly complicated, but just so I'm acknowledging what I'm doing with my hands while I'm talking to you. So was having a tough go of it over the weekend, and just kind of, I don't even know, just trying to let myself check out and like rest, try to not think about it for a small stretch of time. And then I finally felt like I was kind of shaking that a bit when Tuesday night happened. I have probably, like a lot of you, been sick to my stomach when I spend too much time thinking about it, and not to take an ignorance is bliss approach, but like I try to practice good allyship and be an activist, and I am imperfect at it, and probably honestly really bad at it. I think people being imperfect at things is better than not trying at all. But I'm not going to get into the weeds about things. I'm really terrified about how things turned out in my state in particular, not just at a federal level, but like more locally. I might be even more terrified of the outcome of things. So I don't know what to do with that right now. There's definitely like a grieving process, confusion. Like I feel really naive being so shocked that this is happening again. I feel really untrustworthy of other people, and I hate that so much. And yeah, feeling naive as far as like having more faith in other people's humanity, I guess. And then there is just unbridled rage to the point I am like shaking. That at least is an emotion that has been, is, and will continue to fuel action. I don't have any resources to send your way other than perhaps some like lifelines, specifically ones that do not call the police as a resource. I'll put a little like infographic card here so you can look at that, but then I'll also type that out in the description. And if that's something you need or think you might need, or could send to a friend you think might need it, if even just knowing it's there is a comfort, then that's literally the least I could do. My one recommendation for what to do is just, if you don't already have a really strong community around you. Try to find that. I know it's not possible in a lot of physical spaces. I am very, very lucky that I do have some physical spaces I feel safe within to do that, and that there are people nearby me that feel similarly and as strongly as I do about a lot of things. I think I started to say about the alterations night, nobody came, which was good, because I don't think I had it in me to like even do my job well. I had very, very lovely coworkers and friends show up just to sit and be with me because they knew I needed it, but that I wasn't going to ask for it. And it meant so much. As an introverted person, I generally find more comfort being by myself or hanging out with Bert. Bert is my sweet old man rescue dog that is very asleep on the couch in the other room. He doesn't like when I cry on him, though. I think the erratic breathing freaks him out. And listen, I get it. I'm here on this planet to be the caregiver for old dogs. So he doesn't have a job. He doesn't need to be my emotional support animal. But once in a while, I will curl up around him when I'm in the throes of something. And he will just get up and walk away. Where if I'm just sick and not crying, like I'm in a lot of pain, or like chronic GI issues are coming up, something like that, sick, like when I had my tonsillectomy and that horrific recovery that I had, he was an absolute champ, MVP across the board. He rules. But again, I didn't rescue him so he could serve me a purpose. I just wanted to give him a good home. That is why you don't put all your emotional need eggs in one basket. So thankfully, friends showed up for me when I needed it the most, and they just knew. And it was really lovely and healing, and we talked about what we want to do going forward, and we haven't done specific community action together, but we have each like done our own things as far as like protests and organizations and fundraising efforts, things like that. But we talked about like, hey, we're gonna seek out more things, and as they come up, we'll be in touch with each other. We can just be stronger participants in what we feel is important going forward. So I needed that because, as I keep saying, I don't know what to do with myself, but I felt my rage about everything needs to be directed somewhere productive. Like, I can't just be mad and not really be doing anything about it. So I would love to hear your thoughts and plans or questions in the comments, and we can talk with each other. Same thing, like, please use the Discord as a resource. I'm so thankful for y'all. The fact that everybody here cares as hard as they do about things I also deem really important. I couldn't have asked for a better crew to be running with. Thank you for being here. I always feel like I'm beating a dead horse with how often I say that, but I mean it with my whole chest. I don't know how much of a comfort it is having anybody saying like, we'll get through this, it'll be okay, because I fear, I suspect, I feel in my heart that it's going to get worse before it gets better, but not every single facet of life. We got to focus on changing the bad things that we can, but also being present and appreciating the good things that are here and will be here. There's always going to be moments like I have found hope in just sitting with other like-minded folks. Then there's also dogs, you know? I just finished the last pair of earrings. I think I have, because the rest of these are just like Lone Rangers. I've been meaning to do this for quite a while. I don't feel like putting any of these in right now because I've had these hoops, and it's probably been a week since I've taken them out and cleaned anything, and I just don't feel like doing that whole process right now. So I'll let these continue to be gross, and then I'll put these on my jewelry hanging thing. It's literally just a wooden picture frame with chicken wire stapled into the inside. I must have done a video on that. I'll post that in the description or at the end here so you can watch it. Do I want you to watch it? Maybe I need to take some of my older videos down. That's also like a Hogwarts house themed project, and fuck turfs forever. We do not tolerate that kind of mentality here. I'm never going to say you have to agree with me 100% about everything. That's not a way to exist. But if you don't think certain kinds of people are people, I don't want you here. You're not welcome. We're not playing that game. Anyway, I can feel that I have run out of steam, so I guess I'll wrap it up here. I just didn't want to post anything or not say anything, and I'm here to commiserate with if you want that. Just take a little bit to breathe. I know I've been drinking coffee this whole time, but let's all find some water or like an electrolyte drink. I actually made myself haul in a bunch of firewood, which I really didn't want to do, but also it's cold, so I was working in here with a comforter on me the day before. We try to heat the house with as much firewood as we can, and it's a lot more physical effort to do that. Like, it's free, which is rad, and better, like, environmentally speaking. I didn't want to do it, so I kept not doing it, but I'm glad I did. It was good to, like, exert that physical energy. And then I danced around to Prince for a while, and that also seemed to help. So here's what I also want you to comment. Let me know what your best, favorite, most indulgent activity is. Is it cooking a specific meal, going to get a tattoo, sewing? Let me know what your thing is, and maybe it could help somebody else by reading that. Be well, take care of yourselves. I will continue to be here. We will fight the good fight and make some cool shit along the way. So for sure, see you back here with another video in 2 Fridays. Thank you so much for hanging out. Okay, I wasn't gonna add any bloopers at the end, but I need you to know I did just punch myself in the face accidentally, and that about sums up how my week has been.